Here's how Washington and the UAW are wrecking America's automobile industry. Hello, I'm Steve Forbes, and this is What's Ahead, where you get the insights you need to better navigate these turbulent times. The United Auto Workers, the UAW, last week triggered a selective and unprecedented strike aimed at all three of the U.S.'s major auto manufacturers. In the past, the union would target one company and use the eventual settlement as the model for the other two. Now, by gradually applying stoppages simultaneously, the union figures it can force a juicier contract. The affected plants make mid-sized trucks. The threat is that the union can escalate the walkouts to facilities turning out the immensely profitable large pickups and SUVs. But union demands can't be met without immensely harming the big three. In addition to big salary boosts and a much shorter work week, the UAW negotiators are trying to undo or water down key concessions made 15 years ago when the industry, except for Ford, was insolvent. An outsized contract would be a crusher as the big three try to comply with Washington's utterly unrealistic goal of obsoleting the traditional internal combustion engine within a handful of years. They're hemorrhaging red ink on their EVs. Unlike Elon Musk's Tesla, they can't profitably make these vehicles. Thanks to Musk's relentless, truly miraculous cost-cutting combined with dazzling designs, Tesla dominates this segment of the U.S. market. Making things even more difficult for Detroit is Musk's vow to cut manufacturing costs by 50% for the next generation of Teslas. That's no idle boast, as Musk demonstrated when he stunned observers by reaching a seemingly impossible production goal in 2018 for his Model 3 sedan. Tesla doesn't underpay its workers, especially when combined with stock options and cash bonuses. The key is operational flexibility. Unfortunately for the big three, a presidential election is coming up. Joe Biden has made it clear he wants the UAW to get a very generous deal. The president desires their endorsement, which the union so far has withheld. He doesn't have to say it, but General Motors, Ford, and Stellantis know that Washington, thanks to a reckless Congress, has tens of billions of dollars of cash and tax credits to subsidize the forced transition to EVs. That kind of leverage would have Tony Soprano drooling with envy. The bottom line is that Detroit automakers are becoming wards of Washington in all but name. Socialists are delighted by this. A realistic rescue for the big three must await a good election outcome in 2024. Inflation always begets labor strife as workers' real wages take a hit. Rising prices have fueled UAW militancy. A new administration will stop the reckless spending that helps create future inflation. A new administration should immediately rescind fantasy EV regulations and policies that will destroy Detroit. It should also junk gas mileage standards. Over the years, these have forced car makers to turn out money-losing vehicles, EVs these days, to meet those standards and hope that sales of SUVs and large pickup trucks would cover the losses. Politicians should let the big three flourish again. I'm Steve Forbes. Thanks for listening. Do send in your comments and suggestions. I look forward to being with you soon again.